Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Etcetera with the Woodards. I am your host for the evening, Craig Woodard Sr., and my co host, Deontay Cooley, will be joining us in just a little bit. Hey, this is episode 32 of Etcetera with the Woodards. Man, things are going very fast. We are going to be speaking about the injustice that we see it right now in Erie, Pennsylvania, in just a little bit with the shooting death of my cousin Marcello Woodard. But I wanted to start off just basically talking about an epic night that we had last night down here in Tampa. So, as you know, I hail out of Tampa Bay, Florida. I am from Erie, Pennsylvania. I've been down here since, 2011. So it's been quite some time. And our son, Craig Jr., was born, I like to say, blessed with Down syndrome. He touched our heart, and we wanted to be involved and get heavily involved in advocacy for angels with Down syndrome. So, um, 2018, we started the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay. February 23rd will be our eighth anniversary, and I can't believe that it's coming up that quick. But yes, we will be 8 years old on February 23rd. And last night, we had our fourth Rise Up for Down Syndrome gala. We had it at the Tampa River Center, right on the water. It was a beautiful venue. The weather was perfect. And what we do, I try to come up with some some of the local celebrities, some local advocates, and honor them at this gala. We have a nice sit down dinner, open bar, while we celebrate something. And the something that we celebrated was Down Syndrome Awareness Month, which is in October. So I planned this about a year ago and got as close to October as we could. And we got September 13th at the Tampa River Center. And what a beautiful venue it was. It was fantastic. The food was great. The drinks were great. The atmosphere was wonderful. We had a silent auction that went from 6 to 9 o'clock. We had a cocktail hour where Malaz, who has autism, he played the piano for the cocktail hour, and man, did he sound fantastic. He sounded wonderful. It was great. Also, our award ceremony went from 6:45 to roughly close to 8 o'clock. We had dinner after that, and then it was just music and dancing provided by CJ Koenig and Bash Entertainment. Our MC for the evening was my good friend Roxanne Wilder. She is a co-host at the Tampa Bay Morning Blend. That is on the ABC affiliate down here in Tampa as well. And we had a blast. Just want to kind of go over a few of the award recipients that we had winning the Above and Beyond Award last night was Ernest Watkins Jr. Ernest works with worked with my wife for Charter School USA. He's still there. He does a fantastic job in the ESE department over at Winthrop Charter School, and he's a big family friend. Um, he helps us out a lot with the setup and the breakdown, and his wife, Tessa, and kids. They've just been family friends for a long time, and they did a wonderful job helping us out. So, congratulations goes out to him. Our Executive Choice Award goes out to Dennis Mueller. He is part of Buddy Baseball, which he's on the board of directors for Buddy Baseball. He also runs a league of their own. And how they kind of coincide is Buddy Baseball is a league that was started years ago. Um, Craig Jr. plays for the Pirates in Buddy Baseball, and you have kids that have special needs that are able to not only hit but run the bases. There's a few that are in wheelchairs as well, and they have a buddy that assists them, that runs with them, that kind of teaches them where to go, and even in the outfield and everything. It's a fantastic league, and a league of their own was developed when Dennis, his son Zach, kind of timed out age-wise from Buddy Baseball. They wanted to keep this thing going for some of the adults, so they started an adult league, and it's fantastic, man. He does some great things here in town, and we definitely wanted to honor all the hard work and the advocacy that he puts in as well. Our next award winner or winners was the Leadership Impact Award that went out to Ed and Tina Spinks. They run the Elder Law Attorney's Office. They do some fantastic things. They put on a free workshop for us where they could give advice on guardianship, trust, things like that, that we definitely need to know on the legal aspect of how to take care of our kids when they can't take care of themselves when it comes down to legalities. So they're just fantastic, man. They're the crew to go to down here in Tampa when you have questions. They definitely help out the special needs community. So we wanted to honor them as well. Our Limelight Award goes to Tina Macco. Tina is an ESE teacher, and one of her special students is little Charlotte Hill. And Charlotte Hill, we have seen since she was born. She's a member. Her mom and dad are members. Her mom actually was on our board of directors as well, and she's thriving and getting older. And Tina ensures that she gets the correct education, and she just absolutely loves Charlotte and does a fantastic job with her and other angels at that school blessed with Down syndrome. Our fifth award went to also a good friend of ours, one that put me on TV, me and Craig Jr., when we first started advocacy work. And Junior was, I believe, 2 years old. It was back in 2016. Her name is Natalie Allen. She was named our Community Advocacy Award. She is the co-host of the Tampa Bay Morning Blend. She is the OG of the Tampa Bay Morning Blend. There's been a couple of co-hosts there, including our MC Roxanne Wilder, who has joined her, and they're great friends. So imagine going to work with your great friend every day. And back in 2016, I sent her an email, and I said, hey, I would love to get on the show and kind of promote our organization. We got some events coming up. And she said that email touched her heart. And they get emails all the time, people that want to showcase their businesses and things in that nature. And she had us on. We've been on her show for 4 times already. Also built that contact with Roxanne Wilder. She was on the radio. I was on her radio show 4 or 5 times. And we've known both families for about 9 years. So it's wonderful to have those connections. And as you all know, I was obviously part of the media, WITU 12, doing news and sports when I lived in Erie back in the day, man. You're talking about, what were those? 98 to 2003, I believe. I was back there doing my thing. So to have some connections, media connections down here, it's been fantastic. We also had 2 surprise awards for 2 people that really support our organization, help us out personally. Those 2 award winners were Mercedes Anderson, who is also our secretary and our 321 art teacher, and also Susan Kirkpatrick. It was just an emotional time. They had no idea they were getting an award. I was able to surprise them, and it was a lot of fun to have them there. Now, these galas, they're dress up, black tie affair. We had our suits on. Me and Junior looked really good, and my wife Chrissy had this sparkly black gown on, and we'll have some pictures. They're being developed right now by a photographer, but we'll be posting those a little bit later on. But I wanted to also thank my board of directors. Got my list right here of everybody that it's more than just me. I'm the face of it, and there's a couple other co-founders for this organization as well, not just me. So, of course, I'm the executive director and the president, but our vice president is Drew Garabo. If you listen to him, you can listen online, listen nationwide to Drew Garabo Live on 102.5 The Bone. He has a radio show in the afternoon that he hosts, and it's all talk. And this guy is incredible, man. He is incredible. He's got the gift of gab, and his show will crack you up. Um, he was our very first community advocacy award winner, and year one. And the day after the gala, like today, he reached out to me and said, "Craig, how can I be involved with your organization?" His nephew Will, who lives in Orlando, was blessed with Down syndrome as well. So there's that connection. He's been an advocate on air and in person for years. And I said, "Hey, Drew, we got a vice president position open. Would you like it?" And so he joined the board, man, and he's been with us ever since. And he started an event called charity event called Down the Bowl, and we've hosted it 4 times already, and they raised a ton of money for us to be able to offer free services and programs to all of our members. And Drew, I thank you, man, for your hard work and your dedication. He always mentions our organization on air and sneaks us in there, man. He's just fantastic. So Drew Garabo is our vice president. Our treasurer, one of the co-founders, is Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor was with me when I was with the other group, along with my wife Chrissy. And when I left that group, I decided to start this one, and he was right along with me and said, "Yep, let's do it. I'm with you." He was one of the co-founders and joined the board with us as well. He is our treasurer. So Robert, thanks for all of what you do as well. Again, our secretary, Mercedes Anderson, who won one of the surprise awards. She also is our 321 art teacher. She does a fantastic job, and she had family there yesterday that they all knew she was getting an award, but she did not. We all kept it a secret from her, and it went perfect. It was great. We have a few more. Let's see. Kelly Taylor, our program coordinator. She is Robert Taylor's wife, and she's one of the OGs as well. She's a co-founder, and she definitely is one that brings a lot to the table. When you see our logo, she has actually created our logo, and it's fantastic, the artwork that she puts into it. But Kelly Taylor, she's just fantastic. Love her to death. Who else we got? My wife, Christine Woodard, advocacy director. She is also a co-founder. I still remember when we left the other organization, I said to her, "Hon, I think we could run this organization. What do you think? Can we do this?" She said, "Let's do it. Let's do it." And so we made a couple phone calls and got a few others along with us. And lo and behold, we started the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay. So, Chrissy, thank you for everything. Thanks for pushing me. Thanks for your ideas. Thanks for not agreeing with me on everything. It's just been a fantastic ride, and we want to continue to ride this thing as well. Couple more. We have our dance instructor, Sarah Battaglia. We have joined forces after about 10 years. We worked together when I was with the other organization as well. She is our dance instructor and runs dance classes for a lot of our members as well. So Sarah, thank you. Our Fathers 21 Strong director is Ricky Vanderpop. Ricky and I work together in real life. We work together, and we're also on the board, and he runs our Fathers group and does a fantastic job there. Couple others here. Sponsorship director, Dr. Julie Hilson. She just joined this year. She's looking forward to doing some special things. And our medical outreach director, Dr. Todd Van Auken. He also joined within this last year. And we can't wait for them to kind of get sunken in and do their thing. I know Todd is actually in the process of trying to start a 321 art class over in Pinellas County. We have one over here in Hillsborough. So as soon as we get that going, it's going to be all good. And we got some good things coming. We have 3 self-advocates, Sam Piazza, Nick Alteri, and David Scott. And these guys are also fantastic. So Lastly, before I bring in Deontay Cooley, who is waiting in the lobby, I want to thank all of our sponsors for last night. We had Fieldstone, Florida Elder Law, Elevate Advocate, Southern Steer, the Tampa Bay Morning Blend, 102.5 The Bone, and the Bucalo Family Foundation. Thank you all. We raised close to $20,000 with the silent auction. Socially Funded was there. Bash Entertainment did our entertainment. Our DJ CJ is just fantastic. It was a wonderful venue at the Tampa River Center. So we can really appreciate everything that went into putting this whole thing together. And it's a fun time. I'm going to take a couple of weeks to kind of regroup. It's funny because I woke up this morning. I already started to think about what I need to do for next year's. So thank you all. All right, Deontay is waiting patiently. Let me bring him in so that you guys can check him out as well. There he is, the voice of the people, my cousin Deontay Cooley. D, what's up,
What's
man?
going on, man? What's going on, man? Thanks for being patient with me, man. I'm in the family bowling league, so I had to finish the last couple frames out, man.
Absolutely. It worked out perfect, man. I got to talk about, our gala. As you know, I've been planning that for a long time with the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay, man, and went over the program and went over the award winners and everything, man. And I just, even people in Erie that support the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay, I just really thank you all for everything. I get, emails and inbox messages from a lot of people up there that have children blessed with Down syndrome, and they ask me questions and all kinds of stuff, man. So this is something that I'm passionate about, and everyone else is as well. So I appreciate even the crowd in Erie, Pennsylvania, reaching out to us. So wanted to update everybody what we're doing and everything. So it was a fantastic night. I told everybody we were going to get into talking about Marcello Woodard and what is going on right now. And hey, man, it's day 74, and we still haven't heard anything. I mean, what are your expectations? There's nothing that's going to stop us from talking about this. We will continue to roll and keep our foot on the neck of those that be, and that's why we're talking about it right now, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the goal and the whole purpose is to keep the message alive, keep the mission alive, to continue to inform the people, to continue to ask for support, to continue to ask for advocacy, and to continue to ask everybody who's been, working towards seeking justice for Marcello to continue to stay strong and to continue to push forward. I know it's a lot of people are getting tired, or a lot of folks are, feeling like, what are we really doing? And
Yeah.
a lot of people are starting to get to the point to where they feel like nothing is going to come from this. So the goal is to continue to, again, to give out information and continue to speak about it. And I did have a couple interesting conversations over the last couple of days that are kind of related.
Hmm.
So, it's interesting to kind of talk about some of those things as well.
Talk to me, man. What have you heard? I've been, I stay on social media reading a lot of different things. I like to see what the temperature is, how people are, because they want us to go away. That's number one. They want us to go away and stop talking about it so that they could kind of slide under and take as much time as they want. But the people of the city of Erie, and most importantly, the family of Marcello Woodard, deserve better. And I just think we're being viewed as soldiers out there that are fighting this fight to bring justice to the community, to the family. Marcello's your cousin. He's my cousin. We want answers, man, and we're not going away. And so I'm looking at social media, and I saw this one post that says something about, it doesn't seem like some of the things that are going on right now that people are doing is working. I don't I don't agree with that. We kind of compare that to the case out in California, where in December 24th was the very first time somebody was killed. A parolee was killed by a parole agent. You don't hear anything. That case is still open right now. You hear nothing, and we decided that we're not going to be silent. So we see these things and we have these conversations. Man, what kind of conversations did you have?
So the most recent one of the two conversations that I had with somebody. So I serve on the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission Advisory Board.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's based out of before. I mean, they shut the Erie County Human Relations Commission's office down. So what they did was they created like regional things. So Pittsburgh kind of oversees Erie, and they reached out to some individuals who I guess has some name or influence within the community to kind of see how, we can discuss and brainstorm ideas for people who are having issues in Erie that needed some human relations support.
Mm.
So I got a phone call from somebody who oversees the board. And she called me and she was like, hey, I seen the last county council meeting. I've been paying attention to you guys on the podcast, and I have a question. She was like, I hear you continue to mention having a town hall meeting.
Yes.
And she was like, that's something that we were thinking about pursuing, but we weren't sure if the timing was right with the cello situation going on, because what they want to do is have the Pennsylvania State Police come in to talk to us. Okay. And when I say the Pennsylvania State Police, they have somebody who works in like community affairs, community engagement and stuff like that. And I remember when all of this took place, there were two individuals that we met with at the Eagles Nest Church. This was the day that they had to march, where they marched from the Dollar General parking lot to the Booker T. Washington Center.
Okay.
So I'm under the impression that these same two individuals are interested to come back. And I was asked, she told me that she had spoke to Etcetera about it. Etcetera was all for it. She asked me about being a panelist. She asked me if I knew any other people who would think about being a panelist, and she was calling and reaching out to some people.
Okay.
Something that stuck out to me, though, was she told me that she reached out to county council and city council to see if they'll be willing to be active participants in this meeting, and they both said no.
Whoa.
So they don't want to participate in this meeting because they want to wait for the investigation to finish before anything is said or anything is discussed. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I have a huge problem with that. Yeah. Reason being is because we're now getting phone calls. Like somebody was up here from Harrisburg over this weekend. We were having a conversation. And he was just giving me his take on the progress, the things that were going on. And he said, like, you guys are making noise. You are ringing bells to keep fighting the fight. He asked me for some updates on things we had going on, and I shared that conversation with him as well.
Okay.
So when you say like they want us to go away,
yeah.
I do think that they want us to go away, even to the point to where the elected officials aren't in the comment section anymore. You know what I mean? They're not in the stories too much anymore. But again, it is election time. You know what I mean? So with it being election time, a lot of them are trying to steer clear from this situation because they're eventually going to be out in the public. They'll be at the speaking forums and people are going to ask them questions. So if they're not interacting or engaging with the Justice for Cello thing or even the Marcello situation, period,
right,
then it's like, if we don't have these conversations, or if we aren't this isn't brought to our attention, that we can avoid having these conversations, which is why we need to go harder. In my opinion, when I say go harder, I mean specifically at the elected officials, the people in positions of power, people who have influence, and the people who have authorities that will be able to sit down and have conversations with us. But I was told that the Erie County Council and the Erie City Council both said that they did not want to be a part of the conversation. I'm not sure if things will change after the next city council meeting comes or after the next county council meeting comes, but conversations are happening. And then it's now getting to the point now to where like there are people, because I posted this. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning. I posted a status about you know what I mean, about organizations not wanting to help. And the reason why they don't want to help, because if they do help, then the money will stop coming once we become a better people.
Right.
So I've had conversations with different people, community leaders, organizational heads, and stuff like that, and they're paying close attention. Everybody's waiting to see what's happening, but what they're doing is they're just encouraging us to continue to go on. Listen, as crazy as I've had conversations with Republicans, people who disagree with some of our elected officials who are Democrats. They're seeing some of the things that we're going through. They understand our fight, and people have been sending information, sending their acknowledgement, their encouragement. A lot of people kind of like are tiptoeing around it because people don't want to offend their party or their friends. So people are reaching out on an individual level. So as far as like the message dying or us losing steam, I think it's more or less now, because like I said the other day, because it's not as trendy as it once was, The people who are continuing to do the work are being noticed by the people who can either make a decision or ignore us.
Right.
Now it's to the point to where we are being watched, and they're going through this with a fine tooth comb to see who they can talk to, who they can't talk to, who they should, who they shouldn't, where they should be, so on and so forth. Now this is all speculation as far as what I believe the elected officials are doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I did have a conversation with someone saying we want to have a town hall meeting, and then they even asked for the venues. So this is the thing: when she asked for the venue, she said, "Well, I seen Ben Crump was at Second Baptist Church. Do you think that's a good place?"
Hmm.
I shared, and I said, in my honest opinion, I do not think that is a good place, because if we hold it at a church,
Right.
if we hold it at a community center, everybody who knows what's going on will be in attendance for those places.
Right.
And then when you look at it on a, you know what I mean? You look at it subjectively and you realize that, like, people don't feel comfortable coming to those spaces because it's all black people,
Yep.
or inner city,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what I suggested was, why not do it where they did the last one at? Reach out to someone at the Jefferson Education Society. They have Barack Obama coming up this week. So after that's done, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Things will be a little quiet. I
Mm-hmm.
told her, reach out to Mercyhurst University.
Yeah.
Got some places and spaces up there we can possibly go. Reach out to Gannon University. We
Right.
need to be in places, and we need to be in spaces where people who don't look like us can come and listen to us. They can come ask questions. They can come hear some of the things that we are talking about, so they can gain a better understanding without being judgmental, without being biased, or without stereotyping, to truly understand why we are going as hard as we are going, why we are continuing to go. And we want to have it in a space that's unfamiliar to us, and we want to go into a space that's familiar to people who don't look like us, or people who aren't familiar to what's going on within the inner city, so we can enlighten folks. Because it's getting to the point now to where it's like we're being insulted, bro. Like, we
Yeah.
are being insulted. And for me though, it's insulting, but it's not offensive, because this type of stuff, it
Right.
makes me want to go harder. It
Yep.
makes me feel like, hey, we're gonna make some more noise if it comes to writing letters, phone calls, and then there are other people who have other plans to do things on their own. So you know that it's people who are working as individuals who are just tired. There are people who are working in groups who are tired. There are organizations who are behind the scenes backing and supporting us who are tired. There are people in the Republican Party who feel like this is all Democrats creating all of this mess. They are tired. We got people in the community who once praised some of these elected officials and some of these community leaders who are now looking at them and questioning them to see, like, what's going on, what are they doing, why are they so afraid to speak to us? That's the thing that drives me the craziest.
Yeah.
Is we didn't kill anybody.
Right.
We're asking for answers, we're asking for advocacy, we're asking for somebody to talk to us, and they tiptoeing around having conversations with us. But you'll see them go in there and talk about the budget. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, the budget this. Now there's a thing about ambulance. There was conversations about the Erie City Police and a car accident that just recently took place. There was conversations about a fight up at Erie High School. So there's so many different things going on in Erie that they think that we're going to lose focus. And that's why, I mean, for anybody, I hope I'm not offending anybody by not speaking on some of those things that everybody else is talking on, but I'm laser focused on justice for Cello. And I'm not going to allow my page or my presence or my voice be sidetracked or make anybody think, feel, or believe that, like, the fight is over. Now we can sweep under the rug, because that's not what's going to happen for me or anybody who I'm associated with who's fighting and seeking justice for Cello.
Let me break this down for a little bit. And I totally agree that the location of the venue is key in getting the most appropriate outcome. We definitely need to do that. We do have some people that may be a little bit intimidated by certain areas of the city that are predominantly minority or black or brown.
BIPOC
And
is what they call us now.
what's that? What do they call us?
BIPOC.
BIPOC. Crazy, man. So it's a shame that this is the world we live in, but this is the world we live in. So yes, location, location, location. You want to have a neutral location that everybody can come out to, so that we do have the best possible outcome. On the fact that the city and county council does not want to take part in this town hall event. So I'm not a politician. I know you ran for city council, and the next time you run, you're going to win. We already know that because of how intellectual you are and how real you are and how you go hard for the most important topics. This being one of those. So if I was running for city council and I was placed on city council and I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania, like I am, this would be one of those no brainer um, events that I would be fully involved in to show the people why they voted me in. And I got their back because this is an unprecedented thing that has happened in the country. Only the second time this has happened in the country, and the first time in Pennsylvania. And if you don't want to be involved in that because you were worried about politics, man, we have to start really second guessing who we actually put into office because I would be willing to do everything. Now I know there might be one or two that feel the same way that I do that are on these councils, and I'm pretty sure that it was probably a majority vote and not individuals, right? But um, I would be I would be fighting and kicking and scrawling and scratching and everything to try to be involved in my community and the town hall that's dealing with the shooting death of Marcello. Would you not?
Listen, man, absolutely. I mean, but again, we have to realize and consider, like, we got to check people's motives and
Mm-hmm.
understand that, like, everybody who's running, like, it gets to a point to where it's a popularity contest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because when you talk about being an advocate for the people, when you talk about doing what's best for the people, like, city council oversees the entire city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why there isn't more noise being made. There are 4 seats available for city council, and I believe 3 for county council.
Okay.
And again, it's about to be election time, and Erie is ran by Democrats and has always been ran by Democrats. So
Right.
historically, Democrats are people of color, underserved, underprivileged. So you would think that those people would come out, but like I said in the last episode, statistically, we don't vote. We don't
Right.
register to vote, so we don't matter. But but the crazy thing is we can do so much advocacy for homelessness. We can do so much advocacy for new Americans who may or may not be able to vote right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when we're talking about human life, when we're talking about somebody who was shot and killed, unarmed,
Yeah.
somebody who was supposed to be making sure he transitioned into his life, you would think that any person who was running for something would be able to speak on that and even try to capitalize on that and try to
Yep.
encourage people to register to vote, encourage people to vote, to show us that they have their back. So again, like, even if, like, and this is what I'm saying, if I would have won in the primary, I would be able to run in the general.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm making so much noise and I would have made so much noise, I think this situation may have cost me a seat because you don't see anybody else talking about it.
Right.
But you see now, and there are some people who are sending messages, you know what I mean? But since they're doing it privately and individually, I'm not going to give them public praise. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not going to say, oh, well, this person called me and this person has my back. I understand their position. I understand why they can't be public and they can't be vocal. But what I'm not going to do is allow somebody to use me or take advantage of me having a voice and me having an audience for me to be like, yeah, this person's a good one. You can
Mm-hmm.
vote for this one. Don't vote for that one. Because at this point, like, I'm not protecting anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not keeping secrets for nobody. I'm advocating for justice for Marcello, and that's it. So,
Yeah.
like, when I say, like, the calls are interesting, man. What's crazy is it's kind of overwhelming because it's people who are reaching out to me who didn't want to help me or didn't reach out to me when I was running. You know what I mean? Or even prior to me running, when I had my own issues and, I'm very familiar with some of the resources in the community. It was hard to get in touch with these people. Or it was hard to get help. But now that it's like, oh, man, this guy's got a lot of attention. He won't shut up. He won't stop. Let me try to befriend him, or let me try to follow him to see his angle, or let me try to. And the crazy thing is, I'm not sure why people keep trying to figure me out because I be having a hard time figuring my damn self out sometimes. You know what I mean? But so it's very interesting to see how this is all playing out, but it's also very disheartening because when you think of civics, and you think of doing your civic duty, and you think
Yeah.
about advocating for people, there is an entire community in a small percentage of a city that is begging for help, that is
Mhm.
crying for help, that are peacefully, and it's to the point now like there have not been a protest in quite some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if they think, okay, well, since they're not protesting, they don't care or whatever. Like, no, we are strategizing at this point. But I think that people believe that we aren't going anywhere, and
Right.
that's why they're not speaking up. But I'll say for myself, like I'm in this thing for the long run.
Yep.
Justice does just does not look like an arrest. And when I say it doesn't just look like an arrest, like I've been working behind the scenes to make sure that people will be put in place, systems, or even having conversations about systems to
Hmm.
what change looks like, or policies to what change looks like, because a lot of people think that when we say we want justice, when we first came out, the first day we like justice, lock him up, send him to jail, give him life, murder, and
Yeah.
we weren't looking at the big picture,
Right.
because again, we were all in our emotions and we were all talking. But when you think about some of the things that we go through, when you think about some of the things that people have to endure from living in a city that should not be going through or enduring,
Hmm.
that's what justice looks like. No child should ever think or feel like their parole agent can kill them. No
Yeah.
parole agent should ever think or feel like they can get away with that. And then, in the event, God forbid, that happens again, we need to have people in positions who are going to address the situation and be very clear and very transparent with us about what is going on, regardless of if it is favorable to us or not. So I think that it's even stuff that's not being said because they feel like, oh, we don't want to upset those people. We don't want to hurt their feelings. And they're not realizing we are upset and we are already hurting because somebody was killed
Yeah.
and nobody is saying anything. And they acting like it's no big deal. But then you see the Democratic Party, like on their webpage, I'm not sure who caught this, but they sent the RIP out to the gentleman who was shot and killed during the political thing.
Yes.
Erie,
Yeah.
specifically, Erie Democratic Party sent condolences to the family of the individual who was shot and killed in Utah.
Mm.
So when I saw that, I don't want to try to make the two the same,
Yeah.
but I feel like we should have some consideration as well because we've been knocking at their door. And then even talking about the Erie Democratic Party, I may not have done a whole lot, but I feel like I've done enough to show that I'm a Democrat, that I'm advocating for people in the city of Erie who are Democrats. I have people coming to register to vote. The voter turnout, as far as the community that I feel I represent, was
Hmm.
larger than ever was. So it's like, if we can do all of these things for the Democratic Party, and they can't say anything about us, to us, for us, or whatever the case may be. But
Yeah.
then you see them releasing other messages. It's kind of like y'all don't see us,
Right.
like
Well,
y'all don't see us, and like so we talk about like Sam Tallarico. That's who oversees the Erie Democrat. He's the president of the chapter or something like that. He
mhm.
has yet to make a post about anything related to cello, but you see him in every comment talking about, oh, Brenton Davis this or you guys that. Like the Democrats they have no problem bashing and antagonizing Republicans for anything that they say and scrutinizing them.
Right.
And then when we call to the Democrats for help, they say, well, we don't know what to say, or we can't talk about that, or there's an investigation. And I'm not Democrat bashing because, again, I'm a registered Democrat.
Hmm.
I ran as a Democrat. I'm going to
Hmm.
remain a registered Democrat, and I'm going to run again as a Democrat. But what I'm saying is, I don't care about the Democratic or the Republican thing. It's more about your heart and what you're doing. And when
Right.
you have some people who are saying that they are for you and they're advocating for you and they are not doing anything, it's ridiculous, bro. And it's to the point now, like they just had the Hispanic festival in the park.
Yeah.
I wonder if they mention anything just for cello because Jasmine Flores is part of that organization.
Right.
And she's on city council and she's up for re-election and she's out there smiling and hee and ha. And
Hmm.
then I even seen her like a comment on this. Like I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
Watching everything. I seen her like somebody shared. I see people in Erie are talking more about national problems
Right.
than local problems, and y'all ain't been screaming justice for cello. And
Yep.
Jasmine Flores was one of the people who liked the post. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
dare you? Like, yet again, how dare you? Because you have yet to publicly say anything to us, but yet you still want to try to, and it gets to the point now to where like, how much do you rely on your race just to get a vote?
Yeah. Yeah. You
Like,
know.
I have yet to pull the race card. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
didn't say I'm a black man. Everybody vote for me because I'm black.
Right.
But That's the card that she has been pulling since she has been running. I'm a Latina. I'm the first Latina to be a president here. I'm young. You know, I stand up for the black and brown community. She even received $10,000 from the Erie's Black Wall Street. She received $10,000 from the Sisters of St. Joseph Network for her house. But she has yet to say anything for us or advocate for us. But you see her on social media, he and ha, and then even comment on, liking comments where people were talking about the Justice for Cello thing, to where it's like, you just insulted us. And I don't think that either she doesn't realize that, but from over the time of watching her and observing her, she doesn't care, bro. She doesn't care. She's very, I've said that to people like, yo, she needs a mentor. She needs somebody to talk to, because she has a smart mouth and she doesn't realize she antagonizes and she insults people. And when you try to bring it to her attention, she will try to victimize you or tear you apart on social media. I've seen her do it. I've seen people give her genuine feedback. I've seen people give her raw feedback. I've seen people be outright disgusting to her. And she never seems to reflect on herself or the role that she plays and why people treat her the way that she does. But she has no problem getting in front of people who will support her and stand behind her, so she can run her mouth and not hold herself accountable for what she has done or what she has not done. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
And that's just her. And we can go down the council. I know you usually chop in and out, so I'm gonna pull it up while you ask questions or whatever you gotta say.
You know, you make all these valid points, man, and I want to kind of bring up something that we talked about before. You know, for everybody, this past week has been a tough week for everybody. We had 9/11, where on that day, 24 years ago, on that day, was probably, I'm safe to say, the last time that people were united. People were united because we were under attack. It didn't matter if you were black or white, Democrat, Republican, gay or straight. We all were together helping out everyone because we were under attack. And that feeling of unity is something that we thrive for on a daily, you know. And then the following day, Charlie Kirk, a conservative, a Republican, who he speaks the MAGA language and backs the MAGA team and does his thing, but did not have to lose his life for his freedom of speech and his opinions, right? And then to go the following day and to look on social media and to see so many people that have hatred for somebody else's opinion and wish this guy to not be here and be okay with what happened. Like I have a problem with that. That doesn't sit well with me. I don't want anyone to lose their life based off of what their opinion is. And that was disgusting for me to see a number of people like that. And here you're talking about the Democratic Party that is sending out well wishes to the family of Charlie Kirk from Erie, from the Democratic Party, but yet they haven't addressed the family in Erie where a parole agent shot his parolee in Cello Woodard. And so when you have these political events that occur and some of the nationwide, these national stories get some recognition from local politicians over the local story that needs their attention. Yeah, man. I have a problem with that as well. I'm with you 100%. And I really think that they need to do a better job in acknowledging the home front first. And I know if you were on city council, you would be strategically thinking about exactly what you're thinking about now. Like there'd be no difference in Deontay Cooley just because you're on city council. But some people let that game of the politics, they let that kind of work for them or not work for them, and they get sucked in there where they avoid doing the job that they were elected to do. Am I right?
Yeah. And the reason why they do it is because once you get on council, you still have to gain the favor of the other council people.
Yep.
So that's why, like, let's say, for instance, if I was on council and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do for my community, I still need 3 other people to vote with me.
Right.
So if I'm not cool with the other people on the council, it don't matter how good your ideas are. It don't matter how well you articulate it. If they say no, they say no. So once you get to that seat, it then becomes a game as to, and this is what they told me when I was running. You have great ideas. You give great speeches. You have to understand that there's a difference in running for a seat and being an elected official.
Mm.
Well, pretty much what I was told in so many words was you got to know how to kiss ass to your colleagues, because if not, they can just vote down everything. So once you get into those seats, or once people get into those seats, it turns into an ego thing, or it turns into a I'm better than thing, or I have more friends than you. So then they all be in cahoots. So because if you ever notice, there are certain things that take place. Ed Brzezinski, Mel Witherspoon, and Mo Troop, they always vote the same.
Mm-hmm.
They always vote the same. Reason being is because Mel got Mo Troop in his pocket. And
Yeah.
when I say that, I've had conversations from somebody else who's on the board who said, like, instead of Mel giving Mo a check, he will give him cash, so he don't gotta be written down and don't gotta be documented, and it be coming from that Spoon's money. You know, it be coming from the grants. And that's why I posted the status when I mentioned, like, if we start checking those 990s, then we'll see what organizations are helping other people and who's getting those favors, or who's getting those stipends, or who's getting those little bonus checks that look like $200 and $300. But if you track a 990, you track the 990s over years, like how Britton Davis did a couple years ago, you'll see where the money is going. And once you follow the money, you'll understand why people either are voting a certain way or aren't voting a certain way. Because then, even like when you think about it like this, I mean, I'm not exactly sure when the last time you've been to Erie to see the parks.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay.
About a year.
The Erie City Council is to oversee all the parks, right?
Uh-huh.
Spoon's Court is immaculate. Yeah. 2nd Street is immaculate. Mind you, they were going to run Spoons down in Beaufort there, and they got the Jethro Park. You go to McKinley, it's grass and it cracks.
Wow.
Of the court, on the court. You know what I mean? Yeah. The sidewalk is broken up. The tennis court, there's no net up there. You go to the Roger Young Park. The court is a mess. The fence is raggedy. When it's trash out there, they blame the people in the neighborhood as opposed to picking it up and cleaning it up. Burton Park is barely anything over there. Columbus Park. The city oversees all of these parks. Right. But to run Spoon's program, there's a certain amount of money. I believe it's like $150,000. I'm not 100% sure, but I can check the budget. To run the program over there, they're getting a lot of money, and there's no bleachers at the Roger Young. It's 2 benches. 2 benches.
Yeah.
4 hoops. 2. When I say benches, I mean like bus benches. I don't mean benches like a team bench.
Yep.
It's grass growing in the cracks. The blacktop is all broken. So if our city officials, even if we don't talk about Justice Ficello and the jobs that they're supposed to do, why is it that Spoon's Court is immaculate?
Yeah.
And then, God forbid, something happens there. Oh, it's a fuss. Oh, they broke the benches. They did this to the bleachers. It's like, yo, what about the other parks? Like, people don't live over there. So, and then on top of that, if we want to run programs, why not us empower men to run, or even women, ladies, to run programs at all the parks? And let's fix all the parks. Why are we giving all of our city dollars to just the Spoon's Court? And then why are all of the elected officials signing off on that and okay with that, and are not saying that, hey, the park, Spoon's Court is on 18th and what's that, Holland? 18th, no, it's 18th and Holland.
Holland, yeah.
On 21st and East Ave. Then you got the Roger Young, which is further on Buffalo Road. So it's like, if kids want to come out of the projects to go play, and they want to play basketball at a nice court, they got to go all the way over there to play at a nice court. So when we talk about we doing for our community, and we doing for our youth, and we trying to do every single thing that we're doing, we're not. And those 7 people are the people who are supposed to be making the decisions for that. But because they're all buddy, if you say, if Chuck, Jasmine, or Kathy, or Dr. Titus were to say, no, we don't want to fund Spoon's Court, they got hell to pay.
Yeah.
If they vote no, when Bishop Brock come down there and he try to get some grants, Jasmine is the only person I've ever seen challenge Bishop Brock. I'll give her that. She's the only person who challenged him, and she said, I want my $1 million back. But again, it seems personal with her and him. Okay. Because nobody else is saying anything, and the reason why they're not is because Ed, Mel, and Mo are all friends, and they all in one another's pockets. So when you got people sitting up there and they playing favorites and they playing votes, and I'm gonna rub your shoulder if you rub my shoulder, and I'm gonna scratch your back if you scratch my back, like, how can we really get any help? How can we really get any justice if this is what we're dealing with? And then even if you look at the picture of what our city council, I'm gonna take a picture of it and then put it in the comments. But even if you see a picture of what they look like, and I've said, like, I don't believe anybody on that panel looks like they can represent my interests. And you can call it what you want. I don't, you know, people want to throw the race card around or whatever the case may be. And there are black people who are on that panel. So it's not like, you know what I mean? I'm being, oh, you can't put a picture in here. It's not like I'm being racist or anything like that. I don't feel like there's nobody here who sits who can speak for me, but they oversee so many things in the city and in the community, and they're not doing anything for us if we don't have anything to offer them. And that is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. What do we got coming up next, man? I know, I believe city council meeting coming up here in the next week or so.
City council meeting is on
Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay. Okay.
It's the third Wednesday of the week. It's at
Yep.
6 o'clock. No, 6. Let me check just to be. I'm right here.
Yep.
So I got it on my computer because I want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah.
Wow, they got them all listed too. City council meeting. Oh no, it took me to the YouTube page, but
Okay.
I believe it's at 6:30.
Okay.
I
Okay.
believe it's at 6:30. City council. I'm looking at the agenda right now to see 9/17, which is
Okay.
Wednesday. The meeting,
Yep.
yeah, 6:30. 6:30. I'm sitting here looking at the agenda right now. So it's just, again, money. They passing money around. It's budget stuff because, again, that's what the city council does. They
Yeah.
oversee the budget.
Yep.
But the thing is, to me, is like, what about us?
Yeah.
I'm like, when is somebody gonna, like, you know, take a leap of faith or put it on the line and say, hey man, these guys keep coming down here, these guys are crying, these guys are doing every single thing that they can do, and like, we want to help them. Nobody's saying anything out loud. They're all afraid of one another because everybody's waiting for somebody to say something. And the
Right.
most interesting thing is somebody sent me a clip. So, you know, people be going back and watching those city council meetings and county council meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody sent me a clip of Mel Witherspoon saying, yeah, they need, you can't just shoot somebody. If you shoot somebody, you should be handcuffed. And he
Right.
said, we're going to write a letter to the district attorney. And if she doesn't, I will ask her myself.
Mm.
But when they put the letter out, his signature was not on it.
Right.
He has yet to come out and say, yeah, I asked her. She said no. Yes, I asked her, and that's what she told me. Mel Witherspoon is not stepping up for our community, and I don't want people to think I'm being hard on him, so I'm going to go to Mo Troop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think, like, it's kids who play football for Mo East High School who are my age now. It's kids who looked up to Mo Troop. It's people, oh, Coach Troop, Coach Troop, Coach Troop. He literally works at Erie High right now where all of this mess is going on.
Right.
I have not heard him say anything. He never says anything. You watch a city council meeting, Mo ain't talking. Even when they vote, it's times where he won't say yes or no. And it means if you don't say anything, it's pretty much like a yes. But he just sit up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And at a time, he lived right up the street from me too. I be seeing him often. Like, what's crazy is I live where they were close to where these people live. I seen him the other day in traffic. I didn't even acknowledge him this time. Like last time I shook his hand, just being civil and being cordial, but it get to a point now to where it's like, when do you stand up? Yeah. When do you step for your community? And if you're doing it privately and quietly, why? Why can't we know? Because again, Mo's seat is up.
Yeah.
He's going to ask for our votes, and he's going to have his signs up. And he doesn't really campaign because he got that band. You know what I mean? So he got the band. The band is very big. They play all over the place. So I haven't seen him since all of this taking place. I wonder if they've done anything and said, okay, you know, Justice for Cello, or has he wore a Justice for Cello shirt while he sat there and played his guitar? Has any songs been sang? Has he invited any of the family out? My question to anybody in the community, and then this is for people of color, for anybody who feels like I'm tripping for saying the things that I'm saying, I'm looking at a picture right now. It's Chuck Nelson, Kathy Sharp, Jasmine Flores, Tyler Titus, Mo Troop, Ed Brzezinski, and Mel Witherspoon. I dare anybody who's struggling with what we're struggling with right now to go in the comment section and tell us what any of those people have done for us in the course of the last 6 months. I would love to debate with all 7 of them, including Mayor Schimber. I would love to sit and have a debate with them and ask them questions and see if they can answer questions. And I will be open to asking questions as well, because I would love for anybody to ask me, well, what do you do for the community? And I wouldn't even have to answer that. I could just post it on social media and say, anybody that I've helped in the course of the last 6 to 12 months in this Erie community on an individual level or on an organizational level, please drop the comments below. And I guarantee you, if people were bold enough to put it out there, they would do it, because I help people publicly, but I also help people privately. So it's like, when you think about them dudes and you think about the people who serve on that council, outside of the budget. And then they about to spend some money to try to rebuild the police station over there on 21st Street. So outside of the budget, what are they and what have they actually done for the community that was not performative?
Right. Let me ask you a question. Those that are up for reelection that have chosen to remain silent and haven't said anything about this injustice that's going on right now, um, how do they then go out and ask for votes when they're not doing what we put them in office for in the first place? Like how weird is that for them to come out and ask for our votes, and that's the first time that they're actually vocal when the biggest situation has occurred in the state of Pennsylvania in its history, and we hear nothing. Like, how do you do that?
You want to know how?
Yes, sir.
Because again, it's gonna sound ignorant, but we don't vote, we don't register to vote. There is an app that can show you who votes, what's their voter score as far as percentage. Some people only go knock on doors of people who are scored 90 and up, which means when have you outside of the presidential election? If you're voting in these local elections, I'm going to knock on your door. But then here's another thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody who's active and who's vocal, that's seeking justice for Marcello,
right?
We're doing it publicly and we're going to those meetings so they know our names and they know our faces. So if they pull the app up and let's say them and 18 knocking doors and they like, boom, Deontay Cooley, super voter, don't knock on that door. Because if you knock on that door, he's going to ask you questions. So this is why we need to this is why it's important for us to get in front of people who do vote. It is important for us to get in front of those people who are super voters, who are power voters, people who don't really understand but just see it, so we can explain to them that the people who are running and who will be knocking on your door and will be asking for you either come vote for them or write in ballot have not done anything for the people that they say that they represent. And the reason why I say the people that they say that they represent is because I sat in the forums.
Yeah.
We were running for the general and I'm running with the Democrats. It was 8 of us. Was it 8 of us? It was 5 of us.
5.
No, 6. Hold on. It was me, Marilyn, Mo, Dre, Jasmine. It was 6 of us. Okay. 6 of us. So whatever, 5 or 6. But at the end of the day, the only person who wasn't showing up to the forums to answer questions was Daryl Vanderbilt. And he kind of shot himself in the foot. He put out an article to where he called out everybody who was running the saying, if you want to see a change, which now I understand and I get. But outside of that, I've sat on those tables and those forums and nobody says anything about what they've done. All they do is they take those couple of minutes to say, oh, well, I know this person, I'm related to this people, or this is my community, so on and so forth. So I would even be curious to, know the Hispanic community. What are they saying Jasmine is doing for them? The Black community, because I can speak for me as a Black man in the Black community. Mo Troop has never done anything. I've called Mo out plenty of times in public meeting. I called Mo out city council meeting. I've called Mo out of the community meeting that we had at the Booker T. Washington Center. Me and him got into an argument in the hallway of City Hall after one of the meetings. So like, I don't care about calling people out and hurting people's feelings or making people uncomfortable because I have yet to threaten anybody.
Right.
I've not made any threats of physical harm. I've not made any threats of violence. All I've done is done my job as a constituent to the people who are asking for my vote, and they ain't doing nothing. And we need to start calling them out by name. And maybe we need to have their faces on poster boards and saying they don't do nothing for us. Don't vote for them. When they have these forums and when people are having their fundraisers, maybe we need to be out there and we need to say, yo, you're going to vote for a snake. At this point, we might as well get some candidates to run independent. We might as well start listening to those Republican candidates a little bit more and see what they're talking about, because we know what the people who are sitting there will and won't do. And we know what the people who are running will and won't do. And it's like, what's crazy is when I was running, I was being attacked by the 4. I feel I was being attacked by the 4 people who were running for the Republican seat. And even if it's performative or not, I've heard from and had more interactions and positive interactions with some of those people who I thought were trying to bash me, as opposed to the people who act like they wanted to help me when I was running.
Gotcha. We talked about this a few days ago about the two things that we need to get going really soon. I want to switch the order of the two. Of course, we want to have a town hall meeting, but I think based off of timing, because we only have until first week of October, I believe, we got to get something going on where we can get people together where they can register to vote. That's got to be a push. We got to do that on social media, D. Is there a link that they can click on and just go right online and
There's a
register
link
to
right in the
vote?
comments for Pennsylvania voters.
Okay.
I share the link for a voter registration application for anybody who's not registered to vote. The deadline is October 20th, the
Yes.
latest day to register to vote for November 4th election. So all of these people that we were talking about, the
Yep.
4 seats that are available, for city council, the 3 seats that are available for county council, the county executive, the mayor, the
Mm-hmm.
city controller, the clerk of county courts, the sheriff. All of these seats are up for election, and we need to show them that, like, it's crazy to have to say this, but now, like I said, I understand the importance. This is the only way that they're gonna know we ain't playing with them. So
Right.
for anybody who truly feels like, okay, well, they ain't making enough noise or they ain't doing nothing for us, we can't not vote. We can't just don't vote
Right.
because somebody has to take the seat, and they all have friends. So their family members and their friends, of course, are going to vote for them. We need to be finding those people who truly care about the community, who are going to stand on principle, who are going to stand on integrity and not worry about making friends or not. And we need to push for those people to get in those seats, and then we need to be backing them and we need to be supporting them. Because again, everybody doesn't agree with what we're doing. So there are some people who are like, whatever, we still gonna vote for Jasmine, we still gonna vote for Mo, we still gonna vote for Dre, we still gonna vote for who else? Maryland. You know what I mean? We still gonna vote for these because they're Democrats. Like, when do we start questioning people, man? And not like, why am I being questioned for asking questions about things that are happening, but nobody's questioning the people that I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let's let's do this. This week is voter registration week. We're gonna start it up. We're gonna start tomorrow. You and I will have separate posts, but the link that you shared, we're gonna share that, and we want everybody out there to share this link. Whether you live in Pennsylvania or not, you know people that live in Pennsylvania. It's specific for Pennsylvania. We want people that live in Pennsylvania to register to vote. Those in Erie have the power to exert change. The only way that you can exert change is if you change who you want in office. Those people that you want in office should be doing the things that you elected them to do. That is the problem where we're at right now. If we don't have our elected officials doing the things that we need them to do because they find comfort in silence because you're not registered, that's a problem. We can fix that easily by having a register to vote week. We're going to do that. We're going to kick it off tomorrow. We want everybody out there that's watching, etc., with the Woodards, that's on Deontay Cooley's page, that's on Craig Woodard Sr.'s page. We want everybody to vote and to go and share it. We want you to register to vote and go on and share it. So you register, and then the responsibility of you that we're putting on you right now, because this is the week, is to get 5 more people to register to vote. And then we want to hear from you. Let's make some noise this week. If you got 5 people signed up and registered to vote, please send us a message. Me and Deontay, we want to hear from you guys because we want to have an exciting week. We only got 5 weeks left. We want to start it off tomorrow. Let's do this. Let's raise these numbers up. If we raise these numbers up, like Deontay said, they can look and see the amount of people that have registered to vote. Imagine by Friday if these numbers go sky high. We might hear something at that point from some people, and that could exert some change based off of Justice for Cello, and that is exactly what we want,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. And then even like with the town hall thing, like she said, we're gonna start planning it. So we want to have it into October,
Yeah.
early November. That's perfect timing.
Yep.
That's perfect timing because the election is November 4th. So if we can get the forms and everything together,
Yeah.
we can put it out there and we can send invitations while these people are running for these seats. We can show that they are ignoring us. They're ignoring us to the point to where the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission is stepping in because they're like, yo, We didn't know if we should get involved because it's a sensitive situation, but we see and we are watching you all. I kid you not. Like, they referenced the county council meeting
Mm-hmm.
in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we see, all the stuff that y'all doing, and even how, like, remember I broke down how the town hall should go on, like it's 24 of them, 4 we can
Yeah.
go. When I said that, people were like, oh, there is
Yes.
a plan. This guy
Mm-hmm.
does have a plan. He's not just running his mouth. And I talked to a couple other guys, and I'm like, yo, you got any advice for me?
Mm-hmm.
And they said to me, there's difference in being a voice and being a leader.
Yeah.
So I hope that you have something planned with everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
I hope that there's a plan. You're not just running your mouth because you feel this is an opportunity for you to come at elected officials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that those things were said to me because
Yeah.
I do have a plan.
Yep.
Which is why I ran for city council in the first place. You know what I mean? I wasn't just running to be popular. I wasn't running to have people say, oh, that's my guy, that's my bro, whatever the case may be. So there's an active plan. And although I didn't make the seat, I've been having conversations with people who are willing to make some moves and make some decisions so that we can implement and activate our plan. And it's going to look a lot bigger than the average person can see, because a lot of people feel like, okay, the plan needs to just be arrest. And like, no, we need to stop feeding those machines that are taking advantage of us. And we need to start feeding the people who are willing to help us and move forward with that, because it just doesn't make any sense to me for Erie to have hundreds of nonprofit organizations. And there are so many different resources. And there is so much community advocacy, but yet we got people at the city council and the county council meeting saying, yo, we ain't getting no mental health services.
Mm-hmm.
Kids at the school fighting. So clearly, it's some issues inside the house. We can't even blame it. We can't blame the teachers.
Right.
There's something going on inside of these houses within the city of Erie, which makes these kids feel they can do these things. And at this point, I just feel like they just want to build a case to lock us all up, or continue to have us rely on the system that they created that are going to feed us slowly.
Right. Right. As we wrap up episode 32, going into tomorrow, which is September 15th, and we're going to start our register to vote week. First thing in the morning, you're going to see my post, and you'll see Deontay's. We want everybody to register to vote. Deontay, parting words for the people. What would you like to say?
Again, the city council meeting is Wednesday, and I said this the other night for anybody who's watching and didn't catch. I'm going down there, and I'm going to ask, why is Mel Witherspoon still the president? I'm going to ask that he resign as president. I'm going to ask that he step down to city council. I also plan on asking the other city council people, why haven't they voted him off? Why are they condoning this behavior? Because them being silent to it is condoning it. Why is the mayor okay with it? Why did they appoint him knowing his history? We're going to start there. I might use the whole 5 minutes talking about that, but I also, again, plan on talking to Mo.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Jasmine, what are you doing? And I want anybody who's going to be at that meeting to follow up. You know what I mean? Do your research on your candidates, do your research on your elected officials, and come down there. And I hope that Shamir and Shamel and their mother keep coming down there and speaking, because I feel like they make powerful statements. And their presence I'm not going to lie, their presence empowers me. Like, it's times where I'll be sitting there and I don't want to get up until I know they're in the room. And it's not to put on a show, but it's more or less like to feel the love, the support, because like they've been there from the beginning. So again, I want everybody who was there on day 1, July 2nd to July 16th, those people who were loud and for the last 2 weeks, like, come back. You know what I mean? Again, come back. Like, there is no organization who's saying you can't do, you can't say, you can't be involved. I don't care how you feel about me questioning our leadership or me questioning your leaders. At the end of the day, if you've been wanting justice for Cello and you still want justice for Cello, nobody should be able to lead you astray or make you feel uncomfortable to get out of there. So again, man, we're going to keep, like you said, we're going to get people registered to vote. I'm going to continue to pray and talk to God. I'm going to continue to exercise, work out, make sure I'm taking care of myself so that I can be alive and well. And then I will speak to the situation. Like, what I thought was, and this is about to sound crazy, but at the rate that I'm going, and the things that I'm talking about and the people that I'm calling out, like, that could have been me, bro. Like, I'm sure there's somebody who wants to hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody who wants to shut me up completely, which is why I made the status that I made, which is why I have not been that vocal about the situation, because that could be me, bro.
Yeah, man.
In
Yeah,
all reality, like if I speak truth to power, I'm going in and I'm questioning people who are supposed to be leaders in the community. I'm speaking up against the things that they're saying, quoting them and telling them where they're wrong. And I challenge them to a debate, and I would do it in the same fashion as anybody else would. But
yeah,
I do feel in my heart that there are people who do not want me to talk, who do not want me to be around. And I feel like that could have been me, which is why I stay away from it. I'm
yeah,
focused on Marcello Woodard. I'm
yep.
focused on seeking justice for Cello. And justice for Cello for me does not mean just an arrest. It means change for the Erie City. It means change for Erie County. It means change for people who are willing to put forth effort and step up. So at this point, man, like they just like how they saying they amped up and they about to get their turning point thing. Like that turned us all up. Like
Yeah,
it turned me up too.
yeah,
It turned me up too, because at this point it's like people die for this.
yeah.
People die for their opinions.
Mhm.
People die for their viewpoints. People die to be able to say whatever it is that they want to say, regardless of who feels what about it. And some of those people go out like legends, regardless of right, left, black, white, whatever the case may be. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
That's right.
And I'm coming, and I'm not stopping, man. And I hope that we continue to gain support. I appreciate everybody who sends love, who sends the reach outs and messages. I appreciate Shamir and Shamil for, allowing me to speak freely, Snowy for allowing me to speak freely.
Yeah,
Nobody trying to stop me or slow me down, because it gets to the point, man, like there will come a time where somebody, if it's me getting pulled over and, oh, this is wrong with you, or, somebody, them sending like the Malcolm X thing, them sending somebody who's supposed to be close to me to, try to get me off my square and throw me off my balance. So at this point, man, like, I'm going to go hard. I'm going to continue to protect myself. I'm going to continue to exercise and stay fit. I'm going to continue to exercise my Second Amendment right. And I'm also going to continue to pray to God and speak to God on a daily basis, because I know that I need to be protected. I know that I'm covered by the blood. I know there's people that support me, but then I also know on the flip side, I'm going to face some adversities. I also know on the flip side, there's some people who hate me, some people who want me to stop, people who want me to shut up, people want me to just leave them alone. And I'm not stopping at all.
yeah. We got something to say, man. We are going to continue. We got the platform to do it on as well. And the Lord has blessed both you and I with the gift of gab, and we are using it on the platform that has been created. Please, everyone, come out to the Erie City Council meeting, 6:30 on Wednesday. Show your support. The ones that were there from the very beginning, we want you back. Say some things. Justice for Cello, hashtag Justice for Cello. Please just come down and continue to be vocal. Do not be silent. They will not shut us up. We will continue to talk and talk and talk. And we know there's a risk behind it, but this is what we're made of. God has got us covered. God has got you covered. Don't be afraid. Come on down. Speak at the Erie City Council meeting Wednesday at 6:30. Of course, you could also check out our podcast if you missed it on my YouTube channel, Etcetera with the Woodards. You can check us out on Facebook. Subscribe, share, like. Make sure you go in the comments and put hashtag Justice for Cello, because that is how we are rolling until we actually get justice. For my co-host, Deontay Cooley, I'm Craig Woodard. Good night. We'll see you next week.